Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Don't forget you got flanking.
Oh,
So you can
yeah.
backstab.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I forgot about that. How can I forget about that?
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Don't forget your +2 weapon. That adds 2 damage.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Don't forget you got that sweet feat that allows you to jump out of the way whenever I shoot you with the fire breath.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
How do you deal with players who don't want to help themselves?
Hey guys, and welcome to SRD. I'm Scott.
And I'm Ryan.
And today we're going to talk about a topic that comes up from time to time on Reddit and some other places. How do you deal with players that just won't help themselves? But before we jump into that, if you guys like these videos, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Of course, that bell notification, hit that bing, and it'll let you know whenever we post videos, which is at least once a week. So you read an article today from Reddit. What did that entail?
Yeah, so the Reddit post today, they were basically talking about they were tired of telling their players how to play their characters.
Right.
You know, like we just showed the backstab damage, the +2, the extra feat. So how do you tell them nicely that you don't want to do that anymore?
So if I remember, the post specifically said that, hey, they were totally cool with doing this for new players, which I think most of us are. But there comes a time when you have to take the training wheels off and let them play their own character. This specific case was a barbarian, if I remember correctly.
Barbarian fighter, I believe.
Yeah. So the thing is that the honest answer, my particular honest answer is you don't. You don't say anything to them anymore, and you just
reminding them.
You just murder them. You just murder them all over that table, and you just splat that character, and you piss them off so bad they rip that shit up and throw it away. I know that I'll probably get thrown in the fire for that, but you can only help someone for so long. And let's be honest, when it comes to Dungeons & Dragons, a barbarian and a fighter is pretty much as easy as it gets. It only gets harder from there. And if they're, I think it was 8th level at this point in time, if they're 8th level, they've been playing, assuming that you're using standard XP rules, they've been playing at least 12, 13, 14 sessions.
Yep.
To get that high. If you're using milestones, which I don't agree with, but hey, teach their own. But if you're using milestones, maybe 8 sessions at the minimum, right? So the point is that they should know their player, their characters pretty well by then. A barbarian isn't that difficult. Spellcasters, they tend to get a lot of new things at different levels. So say, I think, 5th level, you get access to 3rd level spells. So you're not getting like a new ability, you're getting like 3, 4, 5 new abilities. And so, yeah, they may need a little extra help with that. And that's fine, that's okay. And there comes a time when you, like I said, you just have to take those training wheels off. And if I were that person, I would it's time to quit. just stop doing it. What do you think?
I think if you just quietly don't tell them their skills anymore, eventually they'll either learn about them and be like, oh, I could have been doing this the whole time. That would have made stuff so much easier, which is going to make them more likely to start paying attention in the future.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say necessarily murder them, but you just don't tell them how to play their character.
Just mark them.
Go.
Forget it. Yeah. But don't cheat to mark them. Just do what you've been doing and
roll it in front of the screen.
They won't know. So I haven't had this issue so much as the biggest issue that I had this in was 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons. And that's because 4th edition had a lot of fiddly bits to it. So you had 3 different types of abilities. You had your encounters, your at-wills, and your dailies. And so every time that you'd gain a new level, you'd gain a new suite of options that you could toss into one of those slots. Some of the time, you had like 2 or 3 at-wills, and then you had so many encounters and utilities, et cetera. Because there was such a wealth of abilities that were in that game, it was very difficult to do. Some games are pretty damn easy. Call of Cthulhu is you've got your skills and your role play, and that's it. There's really not that much to it, and honestly, as many times as I've ran convention games, I can teach a person how to play Call of Cthulhu in about 10 minutes, and they get it. There might be like was this role appropriate kind of question. Which is fine, but typically you don't have to remind them to do anything. There are some other games, that are way crunchier, like Pathfinder or Dungeons & Dragons, of course, which is lower than Pathfinder when it comes to the crunch. But honestly, after a certain point, you just have to let them go.
I agree.
Yeah, you just let them go. I would definitely suggest, during your session zeros, as we discussed, to make sure that's a priority. Have a player's handbook, or at the very least, have a printout of the character, a copy of the class or races and stuff that you're going to play, so that you can reference them on your own. Mm-hmm. You don't have to keep asking those questions. I actually have one right here conveniently, and I swear to God I didn't stage this. I have binders for my character sheets where I put like the character on the front, the character sheet, and usually there's a printout of whatever class that I have in here and spells and stuff, so I have direct access to them at all times. I don't have to flip through books and stuff. If you're having players that are having issues with those kinds of things, maybe you can make them something like this, just a little bit easier. I actually like the sheets a little bit better, so I can use a dry erase marker instead of penciling up or getting eraser all over my character sheet and those kinds of things. But some of my characters, maybe I don't have the book for. I know that I didn't have, for that particular one, I didn't have the, what's it called? Is it Volos? Yeah, it's Volos, where the Aasimar are in. So I didn't have that. So I found a copy online and I printed a page off, just that page. So I had it in there, and yes, it's not legal or whatever, but you take a picture of a friend's book or do what you need to do so that you have that reference there for you. There's some great apps out there for them as well that maybe you can point your players towards and say, hey, if you're having issues, plug this in there to kind of remind it. Maybe use a highlighter and highlight things in their sheets to help remind them. But again, all those things are beginner stuff. Not
at a certain point, it's time to let them be.
Well, a certain point is laziness. They obviously have no interest, and they may have no interest in the character, the crunchy character progression of the game. And for those kind of players, I absolutely suggest other systems. There are some great role-playing systems that are out there that aren't necessarily Dungeons & Dragons, which is what this particular one was from. I think, right? Or was it Pathfinder?
It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's a D20 system. They didn't know their class. So the point is that there's stuff out there, and after a certain point, they have to do their own thing. So
that's the only way they're going to learn.
It's the only way they're going to learn. That's pretty much it. It's an open and shut, pretty easy video there. You guide them along as much as you can. If they're a brand new player, if it's their very first time playing the system, by all means, guide them through the whole game.
8 sessions in, you should know what's going on within. You should have a pretty good idea how the game plays too.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point.
I don't think that was the case. Occasionally you do just run across lazy players that do not want to mess with the character stuff. So murder them.
So let us know down in the comments below what type of issues have you had like this.
Yeah.